wealth. Hi, I'm Melissa Hughes, and I'm the founder of the Live Rich, Spread Wealth movement, and welcome. I created this movement for people just like you. People that are up to big things, that want to play big in the world, that want to make sure that as you give in the world and make a difference, that you're able to make such an impact that it affects your bottom line and as well as your legacy. For those of you that want freedom as you serve the world with grace and ease, this is for you. You came to the right place. At Live Rich, Spread Wealth, we are on a mission to empower 10 million people to live rich, accept all of who you are. Understand that your training, your quirky, your education, your experiences is what the world needs now. And also to make sure that you are able to support humanity in a positive way with who you are as you make room for the abundance that provides. At Live Rich, Spread Wealth, we appreciate the giants that are doing great things. But in addition that, we understand the importance of creating legacy. A legacy that is built to last. So if you are a giant, and you are a coach, a consultant, a founder, an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, someone who's looking to make a huge difference in the world, a game changer or a trailblazer, you've come to the right place. Welcome. Hey everyone, Melissa Hughes here. So excited to be here with you today. I cannot wait to get into this. I want to ask you the question of, I don't care how much time you have right now. I want to know, regardless of the free time that you have and how many of you would love to have more time to spend with the people that you love, more time to spend to take care of yourself. I want to know if you're open to the possibility that you can be time rich and profitable. And I would love to see from your notes and from your comments who really wants that kind of life, to have more time for yourself. Because what I know is that time is something none of us can get back. So I'm so glad to be here with you today. And we're going to discuss what it looks like to be time rich and profitable. It is something that I've experienced as far as these keys that I'm going to talk with you today about. And I'm excited to share them with you. So I started my life in corporate America, working long hours and always wanting to do my best to deliver results. I'm always been and have always been, and I still am very results oriented. And in the time that I was with the corporate America, I felt like I was trapped in a never ending cycle of work. I would wake up early, put on my suit, drive about 45 minutes to work, and then work for another 8 to 10 hours before driving home. And I started the whole day over again. And even though working from home is more accepted now, there were opportunities that I had in corporate America where I could work from home because it was a privilege, And let me tell you something. I remember that there were times when I was working from home that, quite frankly, I worked more when I was working from home than I did when I went to the office. And yes, I didn't have to drive into work, but I still had those meetings with my PJ bottoms on. And, I would work from like the morning time to the nighttime. I would see the sun rising and setting from my window that was right behind my computer in my home office. And so I'm hoping times have changed, but that was my experience. And it just seemed that, also let me just tell you the connectedness in corporate, when I was in corporate as an employee. Connectedness. This is what it looked like. All the emails, all the instant messages. I don't know if y'all can relate to this, but it was like there was a culture of always being available. There was no healthy boundary around that. And I'm hoping times have changed, but that was my experience. And it came to a point where I eventually realized that I was too tired to enjoy life outside of work. I felt like my job was consuming the best hours of my day. And I was left with little time and actually little energy to really do the things that really mattered to me. I was too tired to spend time with my family. I mean, I did, but they certainly did not get the best of me. I wanted to work out more, and I did because I needed that energy to do the work. But I didn't have the energy to do all the things that brought me joy. And as my career progressed, I became more efficient at my job, delivering results faster. But then there was a rub because, I still had 8 hours in the day I had to occupy. And even though I was able to deliver the results, the cultures of the companies that I was in, they're like, wait a minute, why are you slacking off? I did the work and it just was, it is what it was. But I felt like, my dedication, my commitment wasn't perceived as great by my colleagues and my employer in some instances. And quite frankly, I began to question whether there was a better way to work and live at the same time. So, in time, I discovered that people were willing to pay me for the solutions I provided. They were able to pay me for the, oh, times haven't changed. Oh, Gina, thank you for letting me know. Yeah. So, but in time, I found out though, people were willing to pay me for results. Now that was amazing. So I can get paid really well for the results that I provide. And they weren't clocking the time that I put in to create those results. And I realized I could create a business centered around my purpose, the things that I love to do. And the business that I create was allowing me to spend more time with my family and my friends while still being profitable. And I was really excited about that because there's a lot of things that I did like about corporate. I love business. I love being of service, but that like other things were just things that were not my passion. So I had to break free from certain beliefs and mindsets that I actually had that were holding me back. And I needed to embrace the idea that I could make a living doing what I loved and maintain a work-life balance that allowed me to enjoy my life outside of work. And so today I wanted to share with you. This is the two-part masterclass. So today we're going to talk. I want to tell you in general over the 2 days, we're going to talk about these 4 key points that really allowed me to create a life that's time rich and profitable. And I will tell you them right now. The first one is uncovering the power of my mindset to unlock the potential for wealth creation. That was a big deal. And we'll go into that a little bit more. Secondly, is finding clarity in my purpose and unlocking new ways to make money. The third one is getting insight into how to monetize and be of service that led to success. Just really taking a stand for still being in service and being in excellence, but knowing that there was another way to do that would allow me to be time rich and profitable. And then lastly, we got to lock in those systems. So acquiring systems and strategies for me to be able to gain systematic success and have the long time value. I've been in business now for over 20 years. So in order to do that and be time rich and profitable, those systems, I'd say that they are so sexy. And I want to share with you also what that looks like. So by focusing on these key points, I was able to flip that script. I switched the 80-20 on its head. 80% of my life used to be that it would be dedicated to all the things that would take care of everybody else. As an employee, the best of me was dedicated to others, and I was left with 20%. And now my life looks like that 80% of my life, I get to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I have that freedom of time, and my business is very profitable. And 20%, I just haven't cracked the whole nut, y'all. 20% of things that I just have to do that I can't get out of doing. But you know what? Because of the time that I've been doing this, I see value in even that. And it is a reminder that, you know what? There will always be times where you will do the things that maybe not be the best things that you have to do to make things and make life work for you, but it doesn't have to be your entire 80%. It could actually be 20%. And that's what I'm standing on that today. So this is a new approach that allowed me to work fewer hours, be happier, and increase my earnings without sacrificing my personal life. And it's possible to own your own time and be profitable. And I encourage you to consider this alternative way of living and working. I know that there's so many giants out there. I serve giants. I serve high-performing professionals and entrepreneurs. And by flipping that pie and prioritizing your time, you can find greater happiness and fulfillment in your life while still being financially successful. But you got to remember, you can be both. Like, even if you want to be a beach bum, you can be a beach bum and also an amazing business person. I've met a few of those. And it's really ultimately about finding the right balance for you. And that's really all that matters. And what I really, truly appreciate at this point in time in my journey is discovering the concept of flipping this pie is that I'm not alone. I've had the privilege of meeting and also coaching others with others who share the same viewpoint and want to have a lifestyle that I also have. And we've inspired one another with our unique skills and talents. And in connecting with individuals and also having clients that also share these same values, I've noticed an increase in happiness and in fulfillment as we learn to make the most of our lives. And by dedicating our time to the things that we love, we show up stronger, better, more brilliant, and the best version of ourselves. And this new approach to living not only benefits us as individuals, but honestly, it also supports humanity as a whole. When we are time rich and profitable, we're able to pursue our passions and our purpose, and we contribute our unique gifts to society. And that is what is truly invaluable. So, today we're going to discuss the first two keys of being time rich and profitable. And I'll review the last two keys of being time and profitable tomorrow at 7 p.m. Same time, obviously, and also same channel. I will drop in the new link later on tonight so you can join me then as well. But at the end of the day, uncovering the power of our mindset to unlock the potential for wealth creation. I will tell you that was the biggest key, because you know what? At the end of the day, if you do not believe that you can be time rich and profitable, you will never see it. And when I was in corporate America, I actually had to decide that that was even a possibility that I was willing to explore. And I had I grew up like, you got to work hard. You got to work hard, hustle, stay late. These are the kind of things that I grew up with. I also grew up with, as a woman, I had to be like, I had to work 10 times harder as an African American woman, 10 times harder to be seen and respected and things of that nature. And I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but I am saying that I definitely, work ethic was always key and the most important thing. And work ethic looked like hours. It was always tied to long hours. So, hey, Kim, good to see you here. So I will just tell you that as a result of me finding out that, look, you do not have to be such a workhorse. You do have to be in excellence. And I do take my clients on these international retreats, and we talk about the being versus the doing. While having a strong work ethic is imperative, I will tell you it can look differently. It can look different. Okay. Sometimes we're not in a position or a mindset to understand that what we value, that when you value yourself and you take care of yourself and you really see the importance of who you are as a person, what you do is great. But you're more valuable when you're able to see the value of who you are as a person. When you are focused on just doing all the time, you end up being a commodity, because quite frankly, everybody can do the same thing in essence. But when you bring who you are combined with what you do, then that is where your value goes up in anything that you do. So, what I'm just trying to share with you is that mindset is so vital. And the first thing is to start with how important you are as a person. If you're able to dedicate time to your well being, whether it be your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, that will allow you to be able to step into the realm of time rich and profitable. And I am saying this because I know it's difficult. I mean, as a giant myself and a workhorse, when there were problems and when you're there taking care of everybody else, what do we naturally do? We do more. We work harder. And, I did the same thing. I was guilty of doing that in my first business. I worked around the clock and I became a millionaire by 31. But I worked and I worked and I missed birthdays. I missed, celebrating others. And at the end of the day, I was not happy. And you know what? Like I say, time is something that you never get back. And I'm glad that I was able to learn this lesson earlier in my life before I had my little one, because she's 7 now. And I would have never been able to enjoy her growth and development and be present. And all of us don't always have this mindset that it's possible to be time rich and profitable. I learned it, and I guess I learned it and I earned it. so I'm just bringing this to light for you to really consider that. Look, it is part of a mindset. It's not really what we're cultivated and that's not the dogma that we're taught. So I want you to consider that it totally is possible, that is available to you. And that is one of the things that I see is the hardest thing, even for my clients that are already in they're high performing professionals. They work for someone, or they might have their own consulting business. They want to do coaching, but it's the mindset, because they feel like, okay, well, I can't jump over here. I need to work hard. I remember when I actually made the decision myself. And I went from corporate, I had my own consulting business, which I still do, and then I have coaching. And oh my goodness, when I was very profitable in my coaching business, I couldn't handle it. I had so much time. I felt like I was doing something wrong. So I'm wanting to bring this to light so that your awareness is raised now. You don't have to go through what I went through. I want you to know that it's totally fine and you don't have to sabotage your success because you have an underlying belief that time rich and profitable is not possible and that you can actually be person of excellence, deliver on results, and it doesn't have to be tied to so many hours around the clock. So over the years, me and my clients, we've been able to overcome that. But I just want to let you know that in reality, achieving a healthy work-life balance is crucial for long-term success and wealth creation. And by prioritizing yourself, that is the best way to be able to shift your mindset and understand that it is the value of you, not always the value of what you do. Combined, having that, the collective, then that is really where you're really starting off with being time rich and profitable. So, the next myth that I want to uncover right now is the myth that that you cannot, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. Okay. The next myth is when you're looking at, let me see, I got to get my notes together. The next myth is when you are looking at that you cannot really make as much money if you are, like when you're diversifying. Let me see here. Yeah. The next one is about having that. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss this. Okay, I think I realize I just. Okay, well, guess what? I live this, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, so the next myth when it comes to having the right mindset is just really being able to understand that when you are serving yourself and serving your family, you're not going to be losing out. The biggest thing with deciding when it comes to your mindset and allowing yourself to have wealth creation is even your practices and your rituals in the morning. Oftentimes we feel like we have to be doing so much, but I will tell you, if you take a stand back and you make time for yourself when it comes to starting off the day, whether it be meditating, praying, taking time out for you, exercising, reading a book. If you pour into yourself first, you will be set for setting the intentions for being time rich and profitable, right? I want you to understand that, we're so much in this world of being super busy. And actually, we can be so busy, we're like now machines. We're busy being busy. And that does not serve us, okay? So I want you to be able to embrace looking at what is your morning ritual. I know that I had to share with my clients, especially the ones that want to be seven-figure earners, that you know what? The money is in the mindset and the money is in the self-care. When you start your day off with you and you pour into yourself, I remember talking to David Metzler, and we were talking on one of his clubhouses or what have you. And, I was like, being a founder of Live Rich, Red Wealth, I'm out there in the world, and it's very important that I'm able to make room for my family and make sure that they are truly the priority. I says, I know what I do, but what do you do? And he said the same thing. He says, look, the first thing I would do in the morning is to take care of myself. I do my workouts. I do my meditation. I set my intentions, because at the end of the day, that's the only way you can show up powerfully for the people that you care and you love, right? And when you don't do that, and you always put everybody ahead of you, then there's going to be a time when you're not good for anybody. Your life, being a human being, can be very confronting, because when you're not taking care of yourself, you are actually you're actually sabotaging what you really want. If you want to be there for the people that you love, you got to be there for you first. Because when you're not, then you're actually now setting yourself up for having issues with your health, physical issues, mental issues, things of that nature. So part of being time rich and profitable is really being able to have these mindset shifts that allow you to experience life with more grace and ease. So just want to share with you that. So I'm hoping that you're understanding where I'm coming from when it comes to time rich and profitable. It first starts with making a decision. making a decision that it is even available to you. And I promise you it is. I've been serving clients for decades now, actually 2 decades now. And I've been able to show them, as well as live the life myself, that this is the you are the most valuable asset you have. And if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will take care of you as much as you can. And it actually is a phenomenal way to train others on how to take care of yourself when you really put yourself first. And being able to take yourself, being able to pour into yourself allows you to pour into others in the most fabulous way. I live a life that's time rich and profitable, and I will tell you, having a little one, and I'm an older mom, you need that energy. So, I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself in the best way, to have the patience for the people that I love, for being able to take time out to be there for my employees, be there for my relatives, be there for my friends. If I don't do that, and if you don't do that, you are actually decreasing your ability to show up in the best way possible. So that is why it is so essential. The other thing that I want to say is, as far as the next pillar, is really being able to find clarity in your purpose and unlock the opportunities to make money, right? And I will tell you, the myth of it is that a lot of professionals do not believe that you can be purposeful or follow your passions. It's kind of like, we know we have to get a job, the job, and then maybe our purpose or passion will be on the side. Okay. And if you're looking to be time rich and profitable and in alignment, that purpose is truly a pursuit that you have got to follow. Because when you are on purpose, then your career thrives way better. When you're on purpose, your business it thrives better because you're in alignment. And when you have ups and downs, because everyone has ups and downs, when you are out of your purpose and out of your alignment, the blows are heavier. Okay. The blows are much heavier. It's way harder to get up and go to work. You feel like cement is on your feet. You feel like, Mondays, like I know people that hate Sundays because they know that the next day they got to go to work and they're doing things that they are not passionate about. Just imagine if Sundays were great because Mondays are better, because you're living and you're doing things that are able to support you and your family and your legacy, and you are great at it. You're on purpose, you're in alignment, and you're on fire. When I'm talking about time rich and profitable, I'm talking about alignment. I'm not talking about time for time's sake. I'm talking about, why are you here? What is your purpose while you're on this earth? And if you are in an environment, whether you're employed or you have your business, and you're like, this is not purpose for me, then I encourage you to look at that, to take time out and ask the question, what would bring you joy? How would you feel the most powerful? Time is something we never get back. So why don't we do the things that we feel like we're most in alignment to do? I serve giants, okay? And so giants are oftentimes multi-talented and very educated. And we actually can suffer from the jack of all trades, master of none disease because, people say, oh, you got to pick this one thing. Well, there's not only one way to make money in your purpose, but when you're able to go to the height of what you can do, when you actually fully integrate yourself. I'm talking about integration because oftentimes when you are multi-talented and educated, you might find yourself chopping yourself up depending on the circles that you're in. When you're with your friends, you don't want to seem too, uppity, too competent. So you dim it down, you just chill out. When you're at work, you don't want to intimidate the next person to the left or right of you. So you figure out how to work within the politics to really show up and not to piss anybody off, because they feel like this is a place of scarcity and not abundance. So we end up cutting ourselves up to fit in and to make others feel more comfortable. I'm not saying this is everybody, but I am saying that for the giants, this is something that does happen. And what happens when you're so used to cutting yourself up is then you are not even able to truly see yourself in its entirety, all of who you are, bring all of you to the table. Because when you do that, you are so powerful. And what I do and I support my clients in doing is, when you show up and you are fully integrated, then we look at, well, what's the highest level of service? Hey, April. Hey, Malika. What is your highest level of service? Take a snapshot of that. Go from there. And now you're coming from the most powerful position, you're most aligned, and you're most impactful. So when we're talking about making money in your purpose and having multiple streams of income, It is not being a jack of all trades, master of none. It is actually coming from a well that's in alignment, that is integrated. And from there, whatever businesses that you have, whatever streams of income you have, are now expressions of the highest version of you. Does that make sense as far as the distinction I'm making? Because it is very important. And I will tell you, if you've lived a life of having to top yourself up so that others feel comfortable, I want to tell you that I would rather you carry sunglasses and give it to everybody else and never dim your light, because that is your light. It's given to you for a reason. And so you can make multiple streams of income when you are in your purpose. And that is one of the juiciest things when it comes to being time rich and profitable. Being in that alignment creates a whole lot more efficiencies. You're able to attract more money, and you'll be able to serve the world in an even more impactful way. So hopefully that y'all are feeling it. So thank you. Thank you so much. So now let's talk about some other myths that come along with not being able to be purposeful when you are time rich and profitable. Yes, sunglasses, absolutely correct. So let me just see here. Make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah. So we're talking. Yeah. So we were talking about how passion and purpose don't really make money, and so I'm just here to let you know it absolutely does. So for those of you that are in between the four walls, whether it's virtual or not, that you feel like you're stuck and that you're just doing this job because you have all these responsibilities and everybody's counting on you, and there's no way I can follow my passion, I would say, listen to what I said. There is a way, and there's a process to get there, but it is so worth it, because I am in a position, and so are my clients. They're in positions of living in their purpose, being time rich and profitable, and having families on their shoulders and legacies that they are taking a stand for. And I am so proud of them. I could tell you, I have a client. She's in Puerto Rico. She has 3 kids. She's a single mother, went through an awful divorce, but I will tell you, she's a victor. She recently was able to take her children on a long vacation as a business owner. She has transcended, and she teaches people how to transcend their stories and how to transcend their experiences. And she is a great epitome of that. I'm super proud of her. Or even my client that's a man that actually is a father, and now a single father, where he actually left corporate because he wanted to be there for his children. And I supported him in creating a business that took in his architecture background and his spiritual background. And now his business actually creates sacred spaces for professionals. So I will tell you that yes, you can follow your purpose. You can be very profitable, and you can be there for your family and your legacy. But the first thing is just knowing that some of these myths, they're so real and so entrenched in our society and some of our conversations, and even well-intentioned folks that we're surrounded by, that we don't even think about the possibilities. I want to, as a result of being in this conversation with you today, to think about the possibilities, because it is available to you. And the reality is aligning your career with your purpose can actually increase your chances of financial success. When you are passionate about your work, you're more likely to be highly motivated, persistent, and innovative. These qualities attract lucrative opportunities and also drive growth in your business. So, hopefully that supports you in that. Another myth I will tell you about is that being diversified, and we kind of talked about, hinders your ability to focus and hinders your growth. And as I mentioned, I do serve giants, and I'm just sharing with you, when you are coming from the highest version of yourself, those business streams and those revenue streams, or the career that you choose to have, you are like one of a kind. When you're able to come from the highest version of yourself as a giant, highly educated, multi-talented, you will command the revenue, the opportunities. So do not let that deter you. And if any of you have been ever called jack of all trades, master of none, just understand that there is a way to be able to integrate all of yourself to be the most powerful you can ever be. So basically, when you're exploring multiple income streams, it can actually enhance your financial stability, especially when you're looking to be time rich and profitable. It can create additional opportunities for growth. And by leveraging your skills and your expertise in various ways, you can build a more resilient income structure and capitalize on new market trends, and also technologies, and also ultimately driving profitability and your time richness. So the other thing that I will share with you, and I'm going to debunk this myth, is that having a purpose-driven business or even career can't compete with a profit-driven business. Okay. And I will tell you that during the pandemic, right? How many clients, my clients made more money during the pandemic because they were purpose oriented. It was based on the fact that they were purpose oriented and they have intentions. The problems didn't go away with COVID. The world might have shut down. And yes, we, including myself, had to pivot a bit. I mean, most of my business was always online, but there were some aspects that it wasn't. So, no, we did not go on an international retreat when COVID hit. I will tell you that. And that was delayed. But when you have a purpose driven business, you know, that is where you're able to make sure you're taking a stand for people in the ups and downs of humanity, trauma, and tragedies. Okay. What I knew is, and what my clients knew at the time, when everybody was on the Liberty Both campus, is that, you know what? People need us more than ever. And at the end of the day, Giants, we've already had our personal pandemics. By the time the pandemic hit, which was awful and is awful, we've already experienced some hard times. So it's like, now, why don't we support making sure that we still stay of service, making sure that we still keep the lights on so that people can know that they can still get those results. If people were having relationship problems before the pandemic, during the pandemic, it can get much worse. If businesses were struggling before the pandemic, during the pandemic, it can get much worse. So the services that you have to offer as a giant, as a purpose-driven person and business, they don't go away. It doesn't decrease. During the pandemic, we did have to pivot. We had to figure out, how can we still be of service and be of excellence in serving our communities and our clients and still make a difference and stay profitable. Because the focus was on being of service and being on purpose, my clients had some of their best years, as well as I. And I would let them know, look, we eat tsunamis, tornadoes, hurricanes for breakfast. So we had to have the right mindset to navigate those times. But I will also give you an affirmation hack that I had for myself. And that was, is that God supports me above and beyond whatever I can imagine. And let me tell you why that was a hack for me. It was a hack for me because I'm used to doing things myself. I'm not used to asking for help. I have to grow into that. I still am. But that hack put me off the hook for having to figure out all the things that I needed when I needed help. What I know is I was open to receiving. And what I know is when I was there to support the clients that I had, because they are the giants, they're high performers, they are out there to make a big difference in the world. It was my responsibility to have my own team and my own level of support. It is my responsibility to get whatever support I needed when it came to making sure my health was correct. I had to do that. It was my responsibility to get my physical fitness staying on track. That was my responsibility. It was my responsibility to make sure my spirituality was on point. It was my responsibility to take care of myself. That was the hack that allowed me to open up the opportunity to see and let that kind of support mechanism in as I serve the world. So I'm just here to share with you that you can be purpose driven and still make profits. And I'll just give you some examples. There are companies that are doing this today, and they actually outpace the competition. I would say something as simple as the Body Shop. You know, the Body Shop, a cosmetic and personal care company, they have a long-standing commitment to ethical sourcing, animal welfare, and environmental sustainability. They were founded in 1976, and their business is still, they have shops all over the place. They've actually been in global expansion, and they have thousands of stores worldwide. They're doing well, and they're purpose oriented. There's Tom's Shoes. It's a purpose driven business with 1-for-1 giving model. For every pair of shoes sold, the company donates a pair to a child in need. These are purpose driven businesses that actually outpace the marketplace. There's Ben and Jerry's. I mean, I grew up with little Ben and Jerry's, you know, and they've always been committed to social and economic causes. So I'm just sharing with you the importance of understanding that time rich and profitable means that you can totally be purpose driven and know that you don't have to sacrifice your soul or your well-being in order to have this kind of lifestyle. So these examples demonstrate that purpose-driven businesses can indeed achieve financial success while also focusing on their mission and their values. And by aligning their operations with their purpose, like these companies, they've been able to connect to customers on a deeper level, building strong loyalty brands, and ultimately outperforming many profit-driven companies. So I am just sharing with you that the reality of it is businesses with a clear purpose that resonates with their customers can actually have a competitive advantage. So isn't this time rich and profitable pretty juicy? Because by authentically connecting with your target audience and addressing their needs and their desires, you can build a loyal customer base and a strong reputation. So this in turn can lead to increased profitability and also long-term success while still being time rich. So at the end of the day, this brings me to the end of today's masterclass, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Some people may ask me, Melissa, how can I learn more and how to gain this abundant mindset and get more clarity on my purpose? And I let them know, look, I can support you. I can support them. And as a matter of fact, I am accepting charter members for the Live Rich Spread Wealth Club. And this is a community that focuses on supporting business professionals and entrepreneurs in discovering and growing in being time rich and profitable. Okay. So there's a founder membership that's available until May 9th, and it will end with either 300 founders or the May 9th, whichever comes first. And this community exists solely for supporting business professionals and entrepreneurs and creating a life experience that allows them to show up fully for themselves as they do for the world, and supporting their desire to have a positive impact and influence in society while creating sustainable wealth and profits. While there's already $20,000 worth of online classes in the club, I am actually wanting to be in collaboration with the founders. I'm used to working with leaders. This is an environment that I am totally committed to. I've been a founder for Live Rich Spread Wealth for now 15 years now. And so the commitment that I have is to impact 10 million people. After the documentary last year, I had actually decided, look, it's now time to open up this community and make it more accessible and more available. I've already impacted probably about 3.5 million people as a result of the world tour, the coaching, and the online programs that I have. But now I am opening up this community. And it's important that I already have it set as far as a lot of value, but I want to work with these founders to make sure that it is equipped. And as a result of being a founder, the investment for founders is $50 a month or $500 per year. And this is a price that will never change for the founders because they're instrumental and they'll always be recognized as the founders for this club. It will be available until May 9th. And what we'll do is I'll have 90 days to work with the founders to really outline this even more. And like I said, there's already stuff in the club. And I will work with the founders to make sure that I cement the direction, because I am always here to support humanity as my clients, as my constituents are. And then it will be released for way more. It will never be $50 a month ever again, or $500 for the year. And if you're interested in being a founder or learning more about the Live Rich Spread Wealth Club, please email me at melissa@liverichtspreadwealth.com, or you can actually put in the subject line LRSWC founder. LRSWC founder, which is Live Rich Spread Wealth Club founder. Or you can direct message me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. I'm looking forward to serving you tomorrow, where we will explore the next keys to having a life that is time rich and profitable. And tomorrow we're going to discuss gaining insight into how your monetization of your purpose can be an act of service that leads to success. And this is in the model of time rich and profitable. And then we're also going to talk about systems and strategies for sustainable success, right? Because I believe systems are so sexy. The reason why my life is time rich and profitable is because systems are a huge part of it. And so I cannot wait to share that with you. Hey, April from Chicago. Good to see you here. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And we will meet here, like I said, at 7 p.m. at that same time. And I will drop in the link tonight so you'll know which link to join me on whatever platform you are in right now. I see people from Facebook, LinkedIn. So I'm really happy to see y'all. And I'm really hoping that this has provided you so much value today. And actually, Kimberly Stokes is a founder of Live Rich Spread Wealth Club. So happy to have you here. And I want to share this message with you because not only is it great to have a lifestyle when you own your own time, but it's also necessary. Our world needs you to show up in your purpose and your passion from a place of strength and health. By doing so, we get the best of one another and we create an environment where our children can thrive. So in conclusion, the idea of being time rich and pursuing our passions isn't just a cool concept. It's essential. You matter and your unique contributions to the world are needed. So take care and bye for now. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Take care, y'all.